Friday the 13th of June, Marek. Do you know what that means?
It's Florian Malouda's birthday. I can't believe I forgot. I better go and get him something.
It's Spain-Holland tonight.
Florian's going to be 33.
Mate, we've got a big show. We've got Mexico, Cameroon, Australia, Chile. We've got to go.
But you got something really nice for your birthday last year. And the year before that. Nat.
Yes, indeed. Hello, everybody. It's Friday, the 13th of June, 2014. And just like yesterday, I'm Nat Coombs. Coming up, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink in the studio. Yeah, dropping by to preview tonight's games between Spain-Holland, of course. But first up, let's cast our eyes back over the sensory overload that was day one of the World Cup with our fan grievance checklist. First up was the Brazuca, which was a hit, probably because it was more football, less beach ball, which is usually a good thing, right? New technology? Well, the goal line detection system wasn't officially needed, but we all got shown it anyway after Marcelo's own goal. The referee's special spray did get a lot of use, simultaneously clearing up who was responsible for the graffiti in the players' tunnel. Diving? Well, Fred seems to take care of that one all by himself. Haircuts? Luka Modric managed to unsettle the Brazil defence early on with his new do, but it was Neymar's main that won out in the end. Commentators, if only more, had followed this guy's lead, Sergei Brilev, who quit at half-time after getting hammered on Twitter. Commentators of the world, take note, we salute you, Sergei. But before all that was the opening ceremony featuring amazing pyrotechnics, smoke effects, weird and wonderful costumes, and of course that famous Brazilian party atmosphere. Meanwhile, anti-World Cup protests took an ugly turn as swollen businessmen crammed themselves into Brazil shirts and took to the streets screaming nonsense, whilst depressed people dressed as dying rainforests looked on. And those were the images that FIFA didn't want you to see. Speaking of FIFA, Mr. Blatter has been talking up World Cup expansion. We shall wonder if one day our game is played on another planet, said our dear leader. Why not? Then we'll have not only a World Cup, we'll have interplanetary competitions. Just to be clear, is the surface of Mars warmer or cooler than Qatar? Anyone know? Cooler. Same. Okay, what are the two key things that any champion possesses?
Sandwiches in it, good haircut.
An innate will to win, of course, and tattoos of everything they've ever won inked on the back of their calves. Just ask Sergio Ramos. But he copied that idea from you, didn't he, Marek?
Yes, he did, Nat. This is from when I won the Egg and Spoon race, 1982, school sports day. This is when I won custody of my children.
Bad day at the office for Marcelo, and this is how he dealt with it on his Twitter account. To all those hurling abuse at me for scoring an own goal, please redirect your anger to @12MarceloV. Thank you. So if you want to hurl abuse at our show, please redirect your anger to that Twitter account appearing on your screen right about now. Okay, time for some stats. Marcelo's 11th minute own goal last night was the 37th in World Cup history. A staggering 73% of those have come in the first round. He's also the first player to score an own goal as the first goal of the tournament. And it was Brazil's first ever in a World Cup. Not to rub it in, Mr. Marcelo, but it was also the fourth fastest of its type in World Cup history too. Whilst we're on the topic, Trinidad and Tobago are the only team to have scored more own goals than regular goals in its World Cup history. He played 23 times for Holland during a distinguished playing career. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink in the studio. Hey, Jimmy. I've broken out the obligatory orange Dutch watch in your honour. And because you're such a well-dressed man, we've got you a little gift. These are for you. Being a well-dressed man isn't a particularly high bar around here, understandably enough. But there you go. Some beautiful World Cup cufflinks.
Nice.
Jimmy, we're going to look at the big games tonight in just a moment. But let's talk about last night's game. Neymar came under quite a lot of criticism, didn't he? Jonathan Wilson in The Guardian wrote that he failed to convince. Yet, 2 goals in, job done. Do you think it's a fair reflection of his performance?
No, I don't think that it's fair on him. He's still a young boy. He needs to grow. I think the whole team needs to grow.
Is he too young, though, to be that dominant global star?
No, not too young, but you need to give him time in the space. He scored 2 goals. He scored a penalty, yeah, it was a little bit of lucky. He got his shot away, what was a really important goal. So he will get only confidence of that, and he will get only better.
What about that Lovren challenge on Fred? Would you have gone down under that challenge? We'll take that as a yes. Okay.
No, he got everything out of it, what he wanted.
What about Croatia, Jimmy? Because Niko Kovac has come out and said he thinks his players should give up and go home now after that performance, which is not particularly motivational, is it?
It's a bit dramatic, but...
That is an experience coming through, do you think?
I think so. Croatia were very, very unlucky. I thought Croatia could have had a little bit more out of the game if there was a stronger referee. Brazil looked a little bit fragile. Croatia need to take all the positives out of the game. I thought they played really well.
So they need you as their manager, Jimmy, not Kovac. That's the inspirational chat they need, right?
Well, you need to stay positive.
Louis van Gaal has gone on record as saying that Spain are the best team in the world right now. Now that's downplaying expectation, of course, but do you think he's right? Do you think Spain are the number one?
I don't think that they are as good as 4 years ago. It's still a very, very good team, and Louis van Gaal needs to hype it up a little bit. He's doing that very well. Also, I think Holland is going to change their formation and give Spain that respect that they deserve.
Do you think the Man United job is an unwelcome distraction for the Holland squad right now?
Definitely not from Van Gaal. He's a very focused man. For the players, maybe, because they're getting some extra questions about Man United.
Well, that's the big game tonight. What about the other two fixtures? Either one take your fancy? Because you quite like the look of Chile, don't you?
I think that Chile itself will go through.
At the expense of who then? Who's not going to go through?
It will be in the expense of Holland or Spain. I really rate Chile. Saw them playing against England. Was really impressed with them. Alexis Sanchez, who is doing really well, who is their star man and is liking that. You know, they don't have really after that really big players, big name players, but that team really gelled, really together, and dangerous team, especially as well. It's in South America, so you know South American teams normally do really well in South America.
Okay, Jimmy, let's look at tonight's games in a bit more depth. And this is where we're going to give you 3 cards to play across tonight's fixtures. There you go, head-to-head. That's a clash that you're particularly looking forward to, an individual clash. There's the unsung hero card in there as well. That's a player that you think goes under the radar unfairly. And then a breakout star. Which player in any of these 3 fixtures do you think we will be talking about in a few weeks' time after a storming tournament? So we'll start with Mexico, Cameroon.
Yeah.
I guess out of the group, those 2 teams will be the unfancied 2, won't they?
On paper, yes. I fear a little bit for Mexico because they have got an injury of their star player. I actually think that Cameroon can make a little upset.
Part of the reason is your breakout star is from Cameroon, isn't he?
Yes, it's Vincent Aboukar, plays for Lorient. Good season, scored 16 goals, can work really well with Eto'o, and when Eto'o has to rest, he can play through the middle. So 22 years, 6'2".
Next up, Spain, Holland, and that's where your head-to-head battle is.
My head-to-head is De Jong against Xavi. If Holland can keep Xavi quiet and get De Jong in the game, Holland will have a chance.
It's usually not difficult to get De Jong in the game, is it? He likes to get stuck in.
Well, that's why he's in a game. He's in a game to break things up and to keep the 2 lines, the midfield and the defense, as close as possible. And if he does that well, the better Holland will play.
Final game tonight, Chile Australia, Jimmy. Any hope for Australia at all in this one?
I fear for them. I fear for them.
Chile, on the other hand, we've talked about how much we like them on the show, and your unsung hero comes from Chile.
I've seen him a lot, actually, over the past few years. Yara played for West Brom on the right-hand side, right back. Has played for Nottingham Forest last year. He's got 65 caps, I think. Technically, a very, very good player, and he deserves a little mention.
You've certainly done that. Right, we'll wrap through your predictions. First up, Mexico, Cameroon.
2-1 Cameroon.
2-1 Cameroon. Spain, Holland. Head or heart, Jimmy? Head or heart?
1-0 Holland.
1-0 Holland. So we went with a heart. That's the heart. Okay. And Chile, Australia.
That will be a 3-1.
3-1-2. I'm assuming Chile.
Yeah,
all right,
Chile,
good stuff.
sorry,
Jimmy,
yeah.
Great predictions there. Good starts in our prediction competition for Marek and Barry, who got 3 points for the correct score. Everyone else grabbing a point, unsurprisingly, picking the Brazil win. Let's check in now with one of the boys from Bigode's bar in Brazil, who, by the way, are staunch Argentina fans, Jimmy, despite being Brazil natives, with their pick for Spain versus Holland.
Olá, Natalie.
Hang on, what? Not again? This is unbelievable. Let's see that again.
Olá, Natalie.
Okay, roll the prediction.
2 Espanha. Holanda. Acredito que 2.
Right, that's just about it for today's show. You can leave your predictions for Spain, Holland in the comments below. Give it up for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink in the studio, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy those cufflinks. Treasure them always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because coming up tomorrow, we've got one of your mates, Guys Mendieta in the studio, everybody. Yeah. What a love for Guys Go. And for plenty more World Cup content, check it out right here. See you tomorrow. Now, Jimmy, I want to get you to sign the desk for us.
Okay, let's do that.
No profanities.
Where are we going? Here.
There we go. Definitely the biggest signature we've had so far. Loving that. Good work.